Yes, Greg Pound with another segment of Greg Pound for Sheriff 2012. And I would like to bring to your attention a couple things that are going on. And if you could please just be patient and listen as I go through this. First, I wanted to share the situation this past week. I was talking to my nephew, and he's finishing up a degree in what is called agricultural engineering. It's just amazing to see how as I talked with him, that even though he builds houses, he's in his early 20s. I mean, just starting to approach towards his 30s, and it's just amazing the stuff that he's accomplished. And the sad thing is he has this disrespect for work. That he says he wants to get this job so that way he doesn't have to work. He said other people do the work. I mean, he's built his own home and all the things that he's accomplished, and it's just a real sad situation to see. As I talk with our young people, our next generation of leaders, and see how they have lost the character of being able to work. And we've always had a saying that the harder you work, the harder you think. And what happens is that now we have the next generation of young people who's just refusing to build the character of understanding or being able to relate to what real work is. Besides, they want this life of ease. I go out to USF, I speak to the young people out there, and I see the condition of our young people in America. They become soft. I mean, we have now a situation where everybody wants to be rich. Their god is money. Now, in Greek mythology, Pluto was the god of wealth. And it's just amazing how everyone wants to be a plutocrat. And they're selling, and what happened, and this is the major problem, that now that everyone we hire to represent us in our county government, in our state government, we have a problem with corruption. Like Scott Roos, over the Florida bar, here he is, he's got $500 million. He wasn't content with $500 million. He wanted another $500 million to make it $1 billion. And this man is over the Florida bar, for the Florida judicial system. He's over the Florida bar. And so it's really sad to see the corruption that we have, people who go to college. And my intent is to try to set up a system and let Pinellas County be the place this thing begins, of transforming the character of the people that are in positions of leadership through being an example through the Sheriff's Department and setting up our servants, our civil servants, our deputies, and helping them to see that the greatest among you shall be the servant of all. Christ showed us the way to become great, and that's to learn to be the servant, to serve other people. And I try to explain to people that the way to get to the top is not trying to go ahead and step on everybody on the way up, but it's actually serving them while they're fighting to get to the top. And so that's what we have now. So what we see in our society, we see, it's one of my presentations is Americans need more sex, more money, more food, more drugs, more abortion clinics. And as Janet Napolitano says about the American people, she calls the white middle-class people in America the new Al-Qaeda. Now, I don't know if you've seen this on CNN, and it's just a real sad situation to see that the corruption, the evil in our country is now labeling the people in America as the new Al-Qaeda, the new terrorist. And, as you listen to Mexicans want California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas back. The Indians want their property back, and African Americans want to get out of prison. And so we see now there's a turning of the tide because of the corruption that's going on, that we're to look to people that are supposed to be our leaders. And we find them not being our leaders, but actually those who are taking advantage of the position that they're in order to line their pockets with money. So what I'm going to do is on this, I'm going to try to upload some things that are going to be real interesting to look at. One is called The Government Can. This is a presentation that it'll make you laugh. You want something to laugh about? Watch this presentation I pull up and put in download. It's called The Government Can. And then a couple of testimonies that I have at the courthouse. And then there was a couple other things. I wanted to also put something on here from Andy and Mayberry. One of the episodes there that I think that you'll find very interesting as far as it goes in the sheriff. And so I just want to just encourage you to get involved in what's going on in your county government. I appreciate it. There's some things that are going on right now that is very, very evident. One is the chief deputy and in Rice. With these guys, they need someone to cover up the corruption and the internal fraud problem that they've had over the years. These guys have been raping and robbing the system. There's so much corruption in the internal works of the sheriff's department and our government that they need somebody who's an insider, who's going to protect their all the corruption that's gone on. It's just rampant, just filled with stuff that you just couldn't imagine. I mean, as I've explained before, my mother-in-law has been the comptroller for over 30 years for this section of Florida, hiding all the money that's being laundered from the federal government into our state and county government, and it's just a real sad situation. As you watch the testimonies of the people that's on this YouTube, the people that I've been able to come out and share some of the things that are going on. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to be persistent here and try to I'm going to need help. I'm going to need people to help me financially, and I'm going to need people to help me get this out. And the most important thing is when it comes to electing someone into office is their character. It's almost like I was trying to think of some word pictures that maybe will help you understand. It's like it would be like leaving the most valuable thing. You need somebody you can trust. Do you know how hard it is to find somebody you can trust? When we can't trust our wives and your husbands today in our society because we've got all this greed and just this destruction of our families, and that's my pet peeve as far as it goes on what's going on in this country that's internally destroying is the destruction of our families. Without strong families, we have nothing to fight for. And what happens is this is what we're doing is we're internally destroying ourselves through allowing our families to be destroyed. When we have people in our system that are putting money and other things before the family and defending people's rights to their families, then we have a major problem. When we have people profiting off problems that they're having in their families, in the judicial system, in the sheriff's department, and we actually have people creating crime, and once they destroy the family, they have the father, the mother, the children in the courthouse for the rest of their lives. They're going to be in and out of the system, and this is what they call their job security. And so I'm just asking you to take a look at what I'm presenting. Now, what got me in this whole thing of seeing, I've always believed our government, when people would get caught up in the system, I said, well, they haven't done something wrong. Until one day I experienced an accidental dog bite that me and my wife had no, it was totally out of our control. But yet then when we find someone lying in the sheriff's department, Megan Gallagher, then we find not only her, but the whole bunch of them are lying. John Pickamanus and Erica Parker having sex in their police car down at Sam's Club on Belcher and Park Boulevard, and he's over the Child Protection Investigation team. Erica Parker is working with Megan Gallagher, the two that was in on our accidental dog bite, who basically lied. Erica Parker's husband's a deputy on the sheriff's department. John Pickamanus has a wife and children, and these guys are in the front seat of a police car having sex down at Sam's Club, and the camera picks them up and exposes it to the St. Pete Times. And so what we have is, and Megan Gallagher, to me, we need, so what I would like to do is see we need some new people in our system. Some people who cannot be bought, sold, or sexed. I mean, as I've explained on the other videos, this job isn't a complicated job at all. There's tons of people working in the system. You don't have to be the bookkeeper. You don't have to manage everything. What we need when it comes to leadership is someone who will look out for the best interest of the people. That once something goes down that's wrong and the people come to them and they look into it and they find out what they're saying is true, then they'll stand on the side of the people. I mean, it's just like, for instance, with this shooting in St. Petersburg, with this young man in the back. The community wanted an independent review board to look at what was going on in the sheriff's department, and they should have never needed that. The sheriff should have been an open book to the people, because that's who he's working for. And so what happens is, once we have this kind of stuff covering up, you're not going to gain the trust of the people. You're going to divide the people from those who represent the people, and that's what we have today. We have a divided system, and it's not working. And so what we have to do is we have to work together as the people we elect into office. We need one another for this system to work. And without one another and without being able to trust the people that we hire to work for us, we are going to have nothing but problems. And so that's why I'm asking people to elect me, Greg Pound, as your sheriff, in defending your rights and protecting you from the tyranny that's going on in our present day system. So right now I'm going to stop the video and go ahead and try to upload some things on my YouTube account. This is, if you go to Greg Pound for Sheriff 2012 and send that around, get that to other people. My phone number is 727-487-1233. My email address is savingfamily7@gmail.com. savingfamily7@gmail.com. And it's going to have to be we the people that's going to clean this up. Your politicians, the people that are working in the system, that have been here for, I mean, they've been here all their lives. They're covering for one another. If you get Rice back into being sheriff, or you get Gattori, you're going to have nothing but more of what we've got. Fraud, corruption, all kinds of immoral acts going on in the sheriff's department, reprobation, and it's just, I mean, it's just going to be another big mess. And so thank you very much for listening, and please get this out to others. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Greg Pound.